Hey toy collectors, welcome to another super exciting outrageous toy review. I'm Kevin, and today I'm taking a look at the G.I. Joe Eco Warriors 1991 Sludge Viper. Because Sludge Viper is part of Eco Warriors, we know two things about him. He's got a water squirting weapon and a color change feature. I've been reviewing a lot of the Eco Warriors figures, and I've been having trouble showing you guys their color change feature. It just doesn't seem to be working anymore on these old figures, and most of the ones I have don't really show much battle damage. I was getting ready to shoot this Sludge Viper video, and I stopped by my friend Ed Rentz's store inside the Old Mills, an antique mall in New Jersey, and he happened to have a Sludge Viper that showed a ton of the battle damage, so I had to get it to put in this video so you can see them side by side, because the dunking in water thing just doesn't seem to work anymore. One interesting thing that I did notice is that while the Sludge Viper with the battle damage has a lot on his face and his chest, the figure that shows very little battle damage seems to have signs of battle damage on his legs and foot that the other one does not. This is the full range of Cobra members of the Eco Warriors from 1991. We have the leader Cesspool with the Toxo Viper and the Sludge Viper. So this sub-team had two trooper figures, both of which are pretty cool. The Toxo Viper was a new sculpt of a older existing Viper type, and the Sludge Viper was an all-new Viper. Sludge Viper has a yellow helmet. It's got a little bit of a Cylon or Boba Fett type look to it with the T-visor. It's got an interesting little mouthpiece and just a weird shape that makes these guys look very robotic. His whole body is outfitted in a green, almost teal jumpsuit that has yellow pads and armor all over it. His chest has a big padded chest plate, and it has this little computer box on the front, kind of Darth Vader-esque. And he even has a little tampo of that toxic Cobra logo that they've created for this line, which I think is really cool. There are straps that go around on the back that help hold up his armor plate there. His arms are just that green color with a little bit of yellow details down at the bottom where his gloves are and his little circuit boards on his wrists. His waist features a yellow belt and some yellow straps that come down to the technical devices on his legs, which have straps that wrap around them. And then he's got purple boots. Interesting because the purple is not really a color used on him anywhere else, but it ties into his accessories, and it ties him into the other characters based on their color schemes. Sludge Viper is a standard G.I. Joe figure when it comes to articulation. He's got a ball joint at the head, lets him look up and down and side to side. He's got a swivel at the shoulders, a hinge at the shoulders, a swivel at the bicep, and a bend at the elbow. He's got an O-ring that holds him together and allows him to pivot around at the waist. Below that is where his hip joints are attached on a bracket that lets his legs move out to the side and forward and backwards, and then he's got a 90-degree bend at the knee. For equipment, Sludge Viper comes with a backpack that has different tanks and tubes on it. I think that this little tube here that goes kind of to nowhere is a little odd. I did mention that in the Toxo Viper review because he has the same equipment as the Toxo Viper. So I can plug his little sludge backpack on there. He comes with this little purple pistol for contaminating things, I guess, or for defending himself against the Joe Eco Warriors. I'm not sure if that's a polluting weapon or a fighting weapon. He comes with a figure stand and his water squirting cannon. This cannon is ridiculously heavy. It's the reason why he has to have a figure stand, because he can't hold this on his own. I just shove it over his arm. There is technically a hand grip there, but I don't want to risk breaking a thumb over this stupid water cannon. But the cannon has a plunger on the back that allows it to suck up water and then expel it. Quick, Sludge Viper! Eliminate Flint! Oh! Bullseye. It's not like part reusage was new to the G.I. Joe line, but it does feel maybe a little cheap that these guys have the exact same accessories as each other. A lot of the other Eco Warriors came with backpacks that squirted water that were very similar to each other, but this is the entire figure's equipment. The backpack, the gun, and the water squirting weapon are all the same. It gives a little consistency in the unit, I guess. It's also interesting that the backpack and guns are the same colors, but the water squirters are not the same colors. The following year, Toxo Viper would get mostly reused to create the character Toxo Zombies, but there were no Sludge Zombies, interesting enough. The Sludge Viper body wouldn't get reused until 2001 to make Sub Viper. I will attempt to demonstrate the action feature on my clean Sludge Viper. My sludgy Sludge Viper over here, I'm going to leave him just the way he is. I don't want to take any chances that that sludge will disappear on him, because I like having this example that shows off the battle damage. So here we've got Sludge Viper ready to go in the water. I'm going to dip this guy's legs also just to see if we get any color change feature happening with him. Give those guys a few seconds to soak. Getting a lot of condensation there. I don't see any battle damage on his legs at all. And this Sludge Viper, who had evidence of battle damage on his legs, I don't think he gained any. Maybe it got slightly darker. But also none showed up on his chest or his head. I think this action feature has just worn itself out. Overall, I think the Sludge Viper is a really cool looking figure. I'm glad that they went all in with a bunch of different troops for Eco Warriors, because it's weird to have a sub-team and not really have anybody for them to fight. Especially when it's so specialized like this. It's not just like a special camouflage unit or something like that. These guys are specifically cleaning up the environment and polluting the environment, so they work well together. It's one of the few sub-teams where there's good guys and bad guys both for that sub-team. Usually it's like Tiger Force or Python Patrol or Sky Patrol, and it's not really a set paired up against each other so much. I do kind of like that Eco Warriors contain characters from both G.I. Joe and the Cobra faction. I think the Sludge Viper is very robotic looking, but on his card art it specifically shows eyes inside his visor, I guess to make sure you know that he's a human. I don't know if that matters, but they made it pretty clear on the package. I think these guys are really cool. I don't know if I would necessarily be actively seeking to army build a whole bunch of these guys, but having two of them I think is pretty neat, and I definitely think they're worth having in your collection if you are into the wacky 90s colors. In the comments down below, let me know what you think of Eco Warriors or Sludge Viper specifically. Thanks for watching this super exciting Outrageous Toy review. Make sure to like, subscribe, and check out my other videos.